Do you know how the Ark of the Covenant got back to Israel? Well, after the Philistines had it, their gods were no match for the God of Israel. And in order to get rid of the Ark, which was a plague in their midst, they did something rather clever, or so they thought. They placed the Ark of the Covenant on a cart and then put 2 cows that had never been used for work before to pull it. Then they sent the cart away from them with some men running alongside it. Now, if you're paying attention, you might be asking, wait a minute. If they didn't want the Ark, why didn't they just leave it somewhere and let it sit? Well, maybe they thought that once it was far enough away from them, they'd be rid of the plague. But they were wrong, because as soon as the cart carrying the Ark crossed into Israelite territory, the hand of God came upon those cows. And they went straight to Beth-shean, where it was returned to the Israelites. Now at this point, you might be thinking, okay, cool story, but what does this mean for me? Well, as we've been studying the book of 1 Samuel, we see the Ark of the Covenant being stolen and then returned to Israel twice. And I couldn't help but think that there's a parallel between the nation of Israel and the Church of Jesus Christ today. You see, when the Ark was stolen the first time, it took a human hand to bring it back. But when it was stolen a second time, God had to bring it back himself. Now, I don't know about you, but that tells me that we live in a day where God is taking his church back to the things of old. He's calling us back to his word, to prayer, to holiness, and to a life of obedience. As we saw in our previous study, there are times where God will allow his people to suffer, so that they will cry out to him and he can deliver them. But there also comes a point where he will have to deliver his people himself. And when he does, there's nothing and no one that can stop it. So if you feel like your life is a bit out of control right now, know that God still sits on the throne. And though you may have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death, you will not have to stay there. Because when God's people return to him, he will have to return them back to his ways. And no one can steal God's glory. I hope this little side study has been helpful in your walk with the Lord. If so, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. And until next time, walk good.